Thank you all for joining us. We will now begin the main session of the 12th ASCC Yokohama Declaration, Asian Cities Together Towards Zero Carbon. First, Takeharu Yamanaka, the mayor of Yokohama, will give an opening remarks. Go ahead, please.
Well, good morning once again, everyone. My name is Takeharu Yamanaka, Mayor of Yokohama. Well, in this Asia Smart City Conference joint statement session, it is a great honor to welcome so many guests from the private sector and international organizations, as well as leaders from cities representing Asia, including Governor Chachat of Bangkok. In order to confront the challenges impacting us, both on global and personal level, such as decarbonization, it is necessary for cities to collaborate with international organizations, private sectors, and each other. So far, the city of Yokohama has facilitated international cooperation with cities in Asia, including Bangkok in Thailand, Cebu in the Philippines, Da Nang in Vietnam, several cities in Indonesia, and Fiji, Suva. To address urban issues of these cities, City of Yokohama has collaborated with business sectors in Yokohama to undertake projects such as waste recycling, sludge treatment, as you see in this slide, energy conservation in public facilities, and the introduction of renewable energy, and so on. These are the examples of contribution to the decarbonization of global cities through partnership beyond the boundaries of nations and sectors. Our city, Yokohama, will continue to contribute to decarbonization and achieving SDGs in Asia. This April, I myself was appointed as a board member of the Global Cabinet of Mayors for Climate and Energy. And last month, I had the honor of joining the OECD Championship Mayors for Inclusive Growth. Both of these opportunities have renewed Yokohama's commitment to tackle climate change in Asia. So let's use today as an opportunity to have a deeper discussion on collaboration between cities in Asia. I look forward to discussing with everyone in today's session to continue to taking on challenges together. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mayor Yamanaka. And today we are honored to welcome Chachal Sittipan, Governor of the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration. Please go ahead.
Sawasdee Good morning. Oyo gozaimasu, everyone. It's my pleasure and honor to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Mayor of Yokohama, Dr. Takeharu Yamanaka, and everyone here for attending this conference. And this conference is important. And before I left Bangkok for this event, my son asked me, "Dad, why are you going to Yokohama?" Okay, I said, I have to attend the 12 Smart City Conference. And he asked, why do you have to attend the conference? I think this is an important question. We just not come here to attend the conference or just to greet. We have bigger cause than that, right? I mean, I think we come here to prevent the tragedy of the commons. I think this term was the name of the paper, the title of the paper by Professor Griffith Hardins in 1968, 55 years ago, in the Journal of Science. He talked about the tragedy of the commons. And that's what we are having right now. In the old time, 50 years ago, they talk about underground water, right? People sucking up water. The water have no boundary reservoir, maybe between nations, between cities. So end up with short-term self-interest, it leads to tragedy of all. So this is a serious matter. 55 years ago, they mentioned this. So it's a problem of extraction. You extract national resources more than you need, and you don't think about the future generation. The same thing when you look at this picture, right? When I put this slide, my staff said, "Oh, Governor, you put upside down. It's incorrect." But in fact, the same picture 55 years ago, the same picture upside down, is what we are facing. Supposed to be underground, but upside down is a greenhouse gas, right? Instead of extraction, now we have emission. And it's a common property. It's a public property. Nobody owns it. There's no, as the governor said, there's no boundary for the nation. Once you release, you emit the gas, it becomes the world a problem. And this tragedy can become the end of humankind if you don't address it properly. In Bangkok, I think similar to many cities around the world, you face problems like PM 2.5, right? And we try to tackle the problem in our city. We try to curb down the use of internal combustible engine. We try to reduce the burning of fossil fuel, burning of the rice straw in Bangkok and vicinity. But once you look at the data, at the hotspots around Bangkok, this is February this year. The burning happened everywhere, domestically, internationally. So we cannot tackle this problem alone. We have to work together to solve this tragedy. And if we don't solve it, it will become the end of humankind. So I think this is why we are here. The cause of being here is important, not just attending the conference, but to prevent the tragedy of humankind. And I like to thank the city of Yokohama and everyone involved that bring us together, right? So we can collaborate, we can share vision, share innovation, share inspiration. Our problem is not unique. We have solutions somewhere else. So we come together to find solution and better. And I'm sure together we are stronger. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Chat. We heard strong statements on zero carbon society from both leaders. And now from the viewpoint of the national level, the Ministry of the Environment has also come today to support our city's effort. We would like to invite Yutaka Matsuzawa, Vice Minister for Global Environmental Affairs, Ministry of the Environment, Japan. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mayor of Yokohama and Governor of Bangkok Metropolitan Administration for their declaration, today's declaration. And my appreciation also goes to the endorsement of the declaration from the participant cities of Asian Smart City Conference. As you may know, cities are center of economic activities, such as we see accumulation of purchasing power and consumption, massive consumption. And cities are also center of human activities. We see life, work, study, and art. So I'm very confident that cities can create a transformative change toward net zero emission of greenhouse gas. These changes again create global wave of decarbonization, and the wave spread all over the world through global value chain and international cooperation. I would like to suggest two things. One is work together. MDBs, bilateral international cooperation agencies, UN agencies, OECD, and national government should work together with these cities which join this declaration. And we should figure out net zero solutions in cities, in building sector, transport sector, infrastructure, and energy and material use in cities. And we should share those findings through cities network. Multiple small steps by cities can accelerate transformation. Finally, I hope that this declaration will have no small impacts, like a falling stone in a pond making waves, on the megacities' interest to achieving the zero carbon, net zero emission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice Minister Matsuzawa. Okay, now let's move on to the Yokohama Declaration. Asian cities together towards zero carbon. This declaration will be read by the leaders of Yokohama and Bangkok. Mayor Yamanaka and Governor Churchill, please come to the podiums. Here, both leaders will read the Yokohama Declaration, Asian cities together towards zero carbon. Mayor Yamanaka, please start.
We, the cities of Asia, commend each other for overcoming the challenges of city management amidst COVID pandemic. We have once again gathered at the Asia Smart City Conference in Yokohama. Here, we declare our solidarity to co-create a sustainable and resilient net carbon future, zero carbon future. This commitment stems from the variable experiences of each city, overcoming urban issues such as environmental pollution and transportation problems. Through diverse policy approaches, we improve the quality of life for our citizens. Participating cities will share, learn from one another, innovate with the private sector, and grow together.
Cities are at the forefront of experiencing and addressing the impacts of climate change, witnessing an increase in flooding and energy issues. Achieving zero carbon is essential for building sustainable and resilient cities that prioritize the well-being of all citizens, including those with disabilities, and celebrate diversity.
The city of Yokohama declared its goal of achieving carbon neutrality by 2050 in 2018. Bangkok Metropolitan Administration announced its goal of carbon neutrality by 2050 in October 2021. These cities are frontrunners in their respective countries, having declared their goals early on, and are working together towards the realization of carbon neutrality. The Asia Smart City Conference is a universal platform to share knowledge, innovative technologies, and future visions for future carbon neutrality.
We call upon all cities, municipalities, the private sectors, and the international partners to join us in this platform, the Asia Smart City Conference. Together, we will continue to adapt, learn, and grow, pursuing higher sustainability, inclusivity, and resilience in the face of a rapidly changing world.
This declaration is hereby proposed in the city of Yokohama, Japan, on November 15th of 2023 by the representatives of Yokohama and Bangkok, and is endorsed by the participating cities.
Thank you very much. Both leaders have made their joint statement as the Yokohama Declaration, Asian cities together towards zero carbon. This declaration is a commitment by participating cities at the 12th Asia Smart City Conference to work together towards a sustainable, resilient, and inclusive future based on the following key concepts and themes discussed. 1. Sustainable and resilient urban development. Cities which integrate green infrastructure and renewable energy, enhancing resilience and reducing carbon footprint for current and future generations. 2. Community engagement and capacity building. Cities will emphasize community involvement and capacity building, nurturing a sense of shared responsibility and fostering corporations and individuals for a zero-carbon urban future. 3. Inclusive and citizen-centric approach. Cities will ensure inclusivity, respect diversity, and focus on the well-being of all citizens in the design, planning, and management of our cities. Thank you, Mayor Yamanaga and Governor Chao. Please step down for the stage for a moment. Thanks. Today we have esteemed guests from international organizations which have strong relationship with Yokohama for International Development Corporation. First, I'd like to invite Min Jam, Practice Manager for Urban Development and Disaster Risk Management, World Bank. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be present in this important conference. I want to start by offering my congratulations to the organizers and the participants in completing this rich program here. I would like to echo all the points that has been raised by Mayor Yamanaka and Governor Chacha Sitipo just now. Here in Yokohama, we have together covered a range of topics on the climate crisis, including energy consumption, digital transformation, green infrastructure, and inclusive planning. At the heart of these issues is urbanization and the accelerated rate of urbanizations that cities are experiencing across the world. Cities benefit from agglomeration of urbanization, and these agglomeration forces drive global economic growth. But to continue to enjoy such benefits, cities also need to address challenges from congestion and stress, such as waste management, such as urban heat, loss of biodiversity, affordable housing, pollution, pandemics, and so on. The recent work by the World Bank on cities, including the Global Report on Thriving Cities and the East Asia Report on Urban Heat, both shared yesterday at this event. They show that cities can overcome these challenges. Urbanization can still lead a productive and healthy life for city inhabitants. The climate crisis is widely understood as a risk multiplier. But if we do things together and address the challenges correctly, it can also be a benefits multiplier. I believe that's what a smart city is about, if we can do it in a smart way. And it's clear that cities are already having the tools of technology and the knowledge at their hand for climate action. The World Bank recently, we updated our mission. Our mission now is to achieve a world free of poverty on the livable planet. The livable planet part was added just recently. Under that mission, for cities, we see our role in supporting cities moving away from fragmented and sprawling patterns of urbanization to pathways of urban growth that is sustainable and resilient. The World Bank is committed to working with cities and partners in the pursuit of green, resilient, and inclusive development through a range of instruments such as financing, knowledge, and promotion of partnerships and collaboration through events like this. We strongly believe that knowledge events like this one, the Asia Smart Cities Conference, can advance our common goal for decarbonization and climate resilience. I hope the takeaways from this event will have lasting impact on our cities. Once again, I would like to thank all the organizers and the speakers for their dedication in making this event possible, and a special note of thanks to the leadership of the city of Yokohama under Mayor Yamanaka. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zhang. And let us now invite Ms. F. Cleo Kamawaki, Head, Office of Markets, Development and Public-Private Partnership, for the message of Asia Development Bank. Please go ahead.
Good morning. It's always so nice to go last, because everything has been said. Thank you very much to the city of Yokohama for arranging this wonderful conference. And it's really wonderful to see the city and wonderful to see everyone here in person instead of just on little screens. I mean, it is really heartening to see the collective commitment of all the cities in the Yokohama Declaration. We know that the tackling climate change is an urgency. I mean, it's really urgent. We've seen the disasters this summer, and we've seen all these figures. But as a city dweller, I think as people who live in the cities, it's actually really personal. And similar to World Bank, but a little bit more in the region, Asian Development Bank has relabeled ourselves as Asia Pacific's Climate Bank. And, when our staff look at that, they see like, oh, okay, Climate Bank. And then, so we put it a little personally, said, I'm building a house on the beach. I've just paid for it. And, Japanese women live a long time. So I'm going to face a lot of climate change during this period. So we have our department slogan is, what did you do today to help Cleo's house survive? And in looking at it that way, we can see that this declaration is really about improving and protecting the lives of the people of the cities through innovation and through real thoughtful communication and teamwork, bringing together the knowledge of the world in a global way, coming together with cities to share the knowledge, to share the experiences, to do better, faster, and hopefully cheaper for the people of the cities. The three themes of the declaration, which are sustainable and resilient urban development, community engagement, and capacity building, and an inclusive citizen-centric approach, ensures that the cities have a just energy transition, protecting the livelihood of workers and communities that will be affected by the transition. This annual conference serves as a valuable platform where cities can share the best practices, exchange knowledge, innovate, and shape the future vision towards zero carbon society. This shared space allows us to learn from one another, fostering collaboration between public and private sector and between cities and international partners. We need all hands on deck to fight this global battle. As mentioned, the Asia Pacific's Climate Bank, ADB is dedicated to the fighting climate change. In July this year, ADB launched a new operating model which advocates focused approach on climate change. And ADB will accelerate its support to tackling climate change by building climate and disaster resilience and enhancing environmental sustainability. We really congratulate the city of Yokohama and the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration to have already set such an ambitious target of carbon neutrality by 2050. And this really shows the leadership in their critical effort. The wave of innovation mentioned by Mayor Yamanaka will surely accelerate the transformation, and it's really sorely needed. In taking advantage of this accelerated transformation or innovative technologies, we need capacity building for all concerned. The citizens, the city administration, and of course, the understanding of the governments. In closing today, the joint declaration is an important step forward, a future where cities collaboratively prioritize sustainability, resilience, community engagement, and inclusivity in shaping urban environments that truly serve all citizens. The Asian Development Bank fully endorses the Yokohama declarations and looks forward to the opportunity to support the participating cities in their journey towards a zero-carbon future, improving and protecting lives through innovation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Kawawaki. And finally, we are pleased to invite Naoko Ueda, head of OECD Tokyo Center. Ms. Ueda, please go ahead.
Honorable Mayor Takeharu Yamanaka, distinguished guests, dear participants, I'm delighted to join you today on behalf of the OECD. The OECD Tokyo Center, which I head, is playing a greater role in assisting OECD's engagement with Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific. And I'm truly grateful for this precious opportunity today. I would like to first thank our host, the city of Yokohama, which is one of the leading cities in Japan on decarbonization efforts. Mayor Yamanaka, as in his opening remarks mentioned, recently joined the OECD Champion Mayors for Inclusive Growth, which brings together more than 60 mayors around the world who are committed to reducing inequalities in their cities and to driving an inclusive climate transition, among other priorities. With Mayor Yamanaka as member of this Champion Mayor Network, the OECD looks forward to enhancing collaboration and have a more active presence in the Asia-Pacific region to help drive climate transition. Now, as we all know, the clock is ticking for reaching net zero. And concrete actions are urgently needed to achieve the objectives of the Paris Agreement by 2050. Failing to do so creates the risk of crossing climate system tipping points that will result in catastrophic and irreversible impacts, as the OECD recently pointed out in our flagship report, Net Zero Plus, Climate and Economic Resilience in a Changing World. And cities have a pivotal role to play in this race to net zero, because urban agglomerations are responsible for around 70% of energy-related global CO2 emissions. Moreover, around 60 cities of the UN Cities Race to Zero initiative have set net zero objectives that exceeds those of their nations. For example, the city of Glasgow plans to become carbon neutral by 2030, whereas the UK has set the same target by 2050. Then, what is the potential of smart cities to boost the net zero transition? The third OECD Roundtable on Smart Cities and Inclusive Growth, which took place in Paris last July, concluded that smart cities can help accelerate the transition towards net zero through digital technologies. Here are 3 reasons with examples. First, smart cities can help governments to better understand their contribution to carbon emissions and their potential to reduce them. For example, digital twins and emission maps as done in Stuttgart in Germany and Turin in Italy, among other cities, allow policymakers to evaluate urban planning programs through virtual simulation, perform real-time calculations of environmental indicators, and adjust their net zero policy accordingly. Secondly, smart cities can accelerate the shift from a linear to a circular economy. Many cities are adopting digitally enhanced solutions to improve resource efficiency and waste management, which have helped reduce emissions, make service industry more cost-effective, and increase the quality of services. Examples of such solutions include digital machines to return used to bottles in Denmark and Germany, and waste programs based on the principles of pay as you throw in Prague in Czech Republic. Thirdly, smart cities can induce behavioral changes that help reduce emissions, particularly in the building and transport sectors. Solutions such as smart metering and ride-sharing, often combined with digital applications, provide citizens with the necessary information to become more aware of the emissions their choices generate and to change their habits. And this has been indicated by His Excellency Ambassador of India in his remark as well. It is estimated that such solutions have the potential to deliver around 8% of global greenhouse gas emissions reductions by 2050. However, the uptake of smart city tools for climate objectives has sometimes remained limited. This can be due to a lack of funding and infrastructure. For example, according to the International Energy Agency, smart street lighting can reduce electricity use by up to 80% by adjusting light according to ambient light levels and weather, but only 3% of the world's 320 million street lighting poles are smart. Smart cities also come with a range of risks that need to be carefully managed. For example, estimates show that the digital industry is responsible for 3.7% of total greenhouse gas emissions and 4.2% of global energy consumption. In that context, how can cities consolidate their efforts towards net zero? The good news is that cities, with the help of other levels of government, can put in place several enabling factors to reach their net zero objectives. In particular, setting up good smart city data governance frameworks, as it is done in London, Vienna, Seoul, can help promote data sharing and interoperability, as well as safeguard transparency around data collection, storage, and use. It is important to enhance collaboration between cities to learn from each other, as it is done through this conference organized by the city of Yokohama. Share data about net zero projects and success stories, and eventually delivering projects at scale, making them more cost-effective. Another example is to reinforce collaboration with the private sector and academia, as it is done here again in Yokohama through the Decarbonization Innovation Council. It is also essential to better measure the performance of smart cities and the extent to which they contribute to net zero objectives, to track progress and adjust policy for greater results. This is the reason why the OECD has developed a smart city measurement framework to assess smart city tools how the smart city tools are contributing to more sustainable, inclusive, and resilient cities. Dear participants, as we all know, smart cities hold great potential to drive the net zero transition, but there is an urgent need to act now. I'm truly encouraged by your passion and determination expressed in this declaration and throughout this conference of Asia Smart City. And I look forward to the rest of the program today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ueda. And please wait for a while for their stage change. And now we are pleased to call all of the cities and participant organizations to endorse this Yokohama Declaration. I would like to ask all called cities to come on board. First, Mayor Yamanaka and Governor Churchill, please come to the front of the stage. Albania, Ministry of Territorial Administration and Infrastructure. Azerbaijan, the State Committee on Urban Planning and Architecture. Bangladesh, Khulna City Corporation. Cambodia, Ministry of Economy and Finance. Ministry of Land Management, Urban Planning and Construction. Cook Islands, Ministry of Finance and Economic Management. Georgia, Ministry of Finance. Tbilisi Development Fund. Indonesia, Ministry of National Development Planning, National Development Planning Agency. Ministry of Public Works and Housing. Balikpapan. Jakarta. Makassar. Samarinda. Kyrgyz Republic. Cabinet of Ministers of the Kyrgyz Republic. Lao People's Democratic Republic. Ministry of Public Works and Transport. Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Penang. Maldives, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Technology. Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar. Nepal, Ministry of Urban Development. Bilganji. Papua New Guinea. Port Moresby. Philippines, Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewage System. Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority. Baguio. Bayugan. Butuan. Kabatbaran. Cebu, Danawa, General Trias, Iloilo, Mandaue, Naga, Santa Rosa, Department of Science and Technology, Samoa, Ministry of Works, Transport and Infrastructure, Samoa Water Authority, Sri Lanka, Colombo, Thailand, Eastern Economic Corridor Office, Amata Corporation, Vietnam, Truong Tien Hue Province, Thank you very much for your cooperation. Now, Yokohama Declaration, Asian Cities Together Towards Zero Carbon, has been successfully endorsed by all participants. Let's celebrate this momentous occasion with a group photo of all the participating cities. Media may come to the front and take pictures at this time. Thank you very much, everyone. This marks the end of this session. Once again, please give a big round of applause to the Asian cities. And please allow Mayor Yamanaka and Governor Chachar to exit the stage first, as their next event will begin in a few minutes. And everyone on this stage and in front of the stage, please go back to your seat. And please remain seated for the next session. Thank you very much for your cooperation.